Hi guys, so I wanted to make a quick video on Gulf of Mexico region and why I believe this was nothing but a giant quarry for the ancient aliens that dug the entire earth for silicon, as mentioned in There Are No Forests on Earth and the video that I made a few weeks back. So this is a continuation of that video, and there are, I believe, ample evidence to suggest that this area that we are seeing right now, it's called Gulf of Mexico, was nothing but a giant mining quarry which was dug out. So if we look into this area without the sea water, we will see this, guys. So those who have seen the video by the Russian video, they will be amply familiar that this looks nothing like a natural ocean floor. This was clearly dug out, and as you can see, the step-by-step cutting of this formation. So they put the excavator somewhere here and they dug this entire surface out, and I was looking for a similar mine, and we found a similar mining pit in Australia, guys. So this is very similar to the surface dug out place in Gulf of Mexico. Now if we put both side by side, it's very similar. So here, guys, now if you see, you cannot even make it out if this is Gulf of Mexico and this is a mine in Australia. So this is eerily similar to what we are seeing in Gulf of Mexico. So I believe that they dug the entire silicon material or whatever trees or organisms were there in Gulf of Mexico, and they took it out. So Gulf of Mexico is nothing but a giant quarry, guys, and I believe the crude oil and all the ocean seawater, as I explained in my last video, is nothing but a chemical waste, guys. So we came out of, as the scientists say, that we came out of the ocean, the mammalian life, the marine life. It is nothing but we came out of the ocean waste, guys. So this giant excavator, I am not a good designer, but if we put that excavator here, it could explain why we have a arc in Gulf of Mexico. This arc in Gulf of Mexico, Texas, this was produced by this excavator, guys. So they dug it out from here, and this whole area was dug out by this excavator. That is the reason we are having this arc of in Mexico like this. So this is the reason for this arc. So we will go to the chemical process, as I have explained to you more in depth in my last video, that Earth has second most abundance of silicon and carbon is somewhere down here. It's like silicon is 1,000 times more on Earth than carbon. So this planet was a completely silicon life form, which it was destroyed. And as I mentioned, the ocean, there was no water, guys. There was no ocean at all in this Earth. The ocean water, what we are seeing right now, is just a chemical solution to react with silicon. So I will show this chemical reaction, why the natural form of silicon that we found is called silicon dioxide. So as we can see, even today silica is converted to silicon by reduction with carbon. So carbon is nothing but a chemical agent to convert silicon dioxide, guys, which is used in semiconductor industry. So they brought carbon from outside sources, and they use hydrofluoric acid. As I explained in my last video, hydrofluoric acid is created by use of hydrogen fluoride and water. So water is just a chemical solution to create hydrofluoric acid, and as I searched in my last video, like hydrofluoric acid is nothing but it oxidizes in the presence of hydrocarbon. So even hydrogen fluoride is oxidized in the presence of hydrocarbon, and we know hydrocarbon is nothing but crude oil, guys. So this is the reason Gulf of Mexico has lot of oil, crude oil. So this area was nothing but a giant silicon processing mining pit, guys, and the reason why we are seeing so much crude oil is because of the chemical reactions they produced. So offshore oil, because it covers for 17% of total US crude oil production. So Gulf of Mexico has a lot of crude oil. This is because of we have to actually go reverse, so why oil is so much abundance in Gulf of Mexico? This is because of hydrocarbon. Why hydrocarbon? Because it is due to hydrogen fluoride. So to make hydrogen fluoride, they have to oxidize it with hydrocarbon. So why you need hydrogen fluoride? For hydrofluoric acid. When it is mixed with water, we get hydrofluoric acid. So why you need hydrofluoric acid? To react with silicon dioxide, which is what we call quartz crystal, guys. This was a crystalline planet, and this is what they mined it and milled it to produce semiconductor. So I believe that lot of oceans has oil, and Gulf like Saudi and Middle East has oil, because that was a giant ocean as explained by scientists. So the entire ocean is nothing but a chemical waste. I would so this is what I wanted to make a video on it, but I would really suggest the mark of the beast 666 but
a crystalline firmament, probably super cold ice. Okay, there was not only a canopy of water above the earth, there was water in the crust of the earth. Psalm 24 says, "The earth is the Lord's, He founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods." See, most of the water that's now in the oceans used to be in the crust of the earth. Psalm 136 says He stretched out the earth above the waters. It's not the way it is today. I believe the original creation had a layer of water above, maybe 10 or 20 inches, who knows, of ice probably, and then a layer of air to breathe, probably 10 or 20 miles, I don't know, and then dirt and rocks to stand on, the crust of the earth, which we still have, but inside the crust of the earth, there was water. That's the water that came shooting to the surface when the fountains of the deep broke open. By the way, there is still lots of water in the crust of the earth. Otherwise, you could not have hot water vents shooting up into the bottom of the ocean. If you have hot water squirting up into the bottom of the ocean, where does it have to be coming from? Lower than that, doesn't it? Still huge hot water vents in the bottom of the ocean. I think some of that water is still coming out. We cover more on that in the hydroplate theory on video 6. But I think the earth today still has cracks where it broke open at the time of the flood. I taught earth science for years. The earth is broken up into plates. There's no question. I've been to the San Andreas Fault, the Hayward Fault, the New Madrid Fault, the Golden Fault. None of them are my fault, but I've been there, okay? There's no question. There are cracks in the earth's crust. And when they move around, buildings fall down. It's called earthquakes, okay? Or tsunamis happen from the underwater landslides and turbidity currents. There's no question the earth is broken up, and there's no question the plates are still moving. The question is, when did all this happen? Now, the evolutionist will tell you this happened over millions and millions of years. The creationist says, no, all this catastrophe probably started at the time of that flood, when the fountains of the deep broke open. That's what caused the fault lines. And the water went shooting to the surface, and it's still here today. I was debating an atheist one time, and during Q&A time, his student stood up and said, Hovind, where'd all the water from the flood go? I said, oh, it's still here. I said, the oceans are huge. There's enough water in the oceans, if you smoothed out the earth, it would cover the earth 1.5 miles deep everywhere. I flew back over to the Pacific from Australia, and I told one of the guys in my office, I said, man, that Pacific Ocean is huge. He said, oh, that's just the top of it. What a thought. These hot water vents are proof there's water in the crust of the earth still squirting up. Probably most of it's gone now, it's on the surface. But you're picking a number and say probably 80% land and only 20% water. The oceans weren't there. The water was in the crust of the earth or in the canopy overhead. But there were trees from pole to pole before the flood came. This layer of water above the earth would act as a barrier that would block out UV light and X-rays and other harmful things that come from the sun. See, the sun produces a lot of stuff besides light. It produces X-rays and gamma rays and beta rays, and all them ray boys come down here, and they're pretty hard on your carcass. X-rays particularly are dangerous. How many have ever had an X-ray before? I broke 9 bones growing up. My brother broke 21.